Welcome to the C.S. Joseph podcast. I'm your host, C.S. Joseph, as always. Welcome to the sunshine. Taking my wide ass outside and getting some vitamin D. Rumor has it, the whiter skin you are, the faster you collect vitamin D from the sun, which I find is absolutely fascinating. I guess that would make sense since people who are typically light colored, they like living in the north of the earth, the northern hemisphere, where there isn't very much or as much sunshine. So cool. Nice to know that evolution and adaptation is still ultimately benefiting me as a person. God knows I love me some vitamin D. So yeah, my vitamin D soak session, here to answer your questions. And today's question we have: how can an INTJ succeed at being a social worker? Let's be honest, this is a very odd question. It's not expecting to ever answer this question. So, because to me this question is so silly and ridiculous, I actually kind of believe that there's a chance that maybe the person who asked it, maybe they are an INTJ, maybe they're not an INTJ, or maybe they're trying to figure out what's a good career for them. But if they really are an INTJ studying to be a social worker, I mean, like, wow, way to just invest in your superego hardcore, your ISFJ superego. And I'm just like, really? That's a thing? Really? It's just so weird to me. So weird. But I'm going to answer this question to the best of my ability without, mocking the entire idea. Of course, that may happen because ESFP superego. I probably won't be able to help myself. Because if I was an INTJ who was working as a social worker, every one of my clients, I'd just be like, hey, here's the whole system. Here's the entire system that I'm aware of. But here's how you can take advantage of the system. You know what I'm saying? Total advantage taking of the system. Like, seriously. Because, that's the Frank Abagnale approach, like that movie, Catch Me If You Can. He's an INTJ. Took advantage of the banking system and how they do checks. Became the greatest paper hanger in history in terms of check fraud. And it's like, yeah, there's an INTJ social worker be like, hey, here's all these amazing free things you can get, all these benefits. And the INTJ social worker would be all about helping out every single one of them freeloaders, right? I guess maybe I can't help myself but mock this situation. But it's just really weird to me. It's like entirely weird. I've never met an INTJ social worker in my entire life. I mean, sure, if they had unlimited sympathy from their FI child, I mean, sure, maybe it's possible. But INTJs are triple pragmatic. It's not exactly a career that they just wake up in the morning and be like, yes, I'm going to be a social worker. I could just see it now, going to the office, you're a social worker taking calls, dealing with everyone's problems, and your FE trickster is just like, yeah, not sure what the social protocol is, not sure, how to make people feel better, but hey, at least I can be there to help them take advantage of the system. Like, hey, here's all the free stuff you can get. Here's how you make it look like, how you can qualify for it, even though you probably don't qualify, but you can make yourself look like you qualify for it, which is kind of like, hey, you could qualify for free healthcare, or here, let me help you get on welfare or something. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being really stereotypical right now. But if an INTJ really, really desired to be a social worker, can I say with confidence that they're going to be successful at it? Not really. I mean, they'll think oh yeah, it's really good money, really good benefits, really good retirement. But are INTJs really going to live their life like that? No. I don't think so. I mean, unless, of course, they had a side gig or a side hustle, show up to the office and pull out their phone when no one's looking, checking all their investments and whatnot, checking their cryptos. And then, like, oh yeah, this is just a means to an end, me being a social worker. As soon as I got my business up off the ground, I am out of here. And then on my way out, I'll tell everyone to F off. Okay. I can see that. That's more practical for me, believing an INTJ is a social worker in that situation. Maybe it was this INTJ or she, this INTJ was like, oh yeah, I ended up going to school, had no clue what I wanted to be. So I don't know, I just happen to have all the credits and everything, and it's just easier for me to become a social worker. So, okay. I can definitely see that. An INTJ taking all them shortcuts in life and be like, hey, I already have the credits for it. May as well become a social worker, because it's easy. It's right there. It's low-hanging fruit. I'll be able to make the money that I need to get the real thing I want to do as like a stepping stone. Okay, in that scenario, absolutely, I could see an INTJ becoming a social worker, definitely. Or if they were planning on being some kind of fraudster like Frank Abagnale to learn the system and see how they could take advantage of the welfare system. Okay, yeah, sure. I could see an INTJ being a social worker in that perspective as well. It reminds me of that joke, it's where it's like, okay, you might not be an INTJ if you are a social worker. Those interesting dad jokes from the Larry the Cable Guy days, or the Bill Engvall days, or the Jeff Foxworthy days. You might not be, so who knows? Who knows? But hey, INTJ being a social worker, if that's really actually what they want to do for some reason, how would they be able to do it? Oh my God. Well, the chance for failure is like insanely high, like 80%. 4 out of 5 chance of failure. Like that pragmatism, like how are they really gonna go home and be like, yeah, I feel really good about myself because I helped all these people? No, not really. Maybe if this was an INFJ, yeah, sure, definitely. But an INTJ, like they got their little achievement board at home, it's like it's right there on the wall, and they're writing down all of the names of every person that they've helped and how they did really something really great in the world. I'm just not seeing it. What exactly says to a wayfarer who's all about collecting treasure in life and then figure out who to share that treasure with? Social work does not exactly equate to treasure to me, unless they're very well paid or overpaid. Maybe there's a chance of that. I have no idea. But I'm just not seeing it. I'm just not seeing it at all. Like INTJs, they're already super rare, 1 out of every 100 people statistically on this planet. And then those very rare people, they literally want to go out of their way while they're triple pragmatic, triple movement. They want to be a social worker? Really? It just boggles my mind. I am dumbfounded right now. I'm so dumbfounded I could probably not even answer this question. I'm so dumbfounded. Okay, yeah, sure, Mr. C.S. Joseph, you shouldn't be all about them stereotypes when it comes to types. You're absolutely right. I shouldn't be. But it's something I've never observed. It's something I've never experienced. It's something I've never even heard of. Now, I could be wrong. Anything is possible, right? I could be wrong, but I'm just like, what? Really? No. I mean, could you imagine being there in the affiliative environment of a social work office, and then every now and then you break the rules for the sake of your clients because you're triple pragmatic, and who cares about rules? I mean, unless the INTJ has been heavily abused in their life and they're trying to go out of the way to give other people a better experience so that they don't have the same experience they had. But that's more ENTP-ish. That's not as INTJ-ish, unless they're very ENTP shadow focused on the edge of going to their superego every now and then. Maybe I could see it. So, I mean, I guess, develop your FE Trickster super quick and start developing the social rules. Learn how to hack the system or the systems that you as a social worker would be familiar with for the betterment of your clients. Problem is really helping your clients, is it really helping them? Do you even know that? Does your FE Trickster even know that? When it comes to their child cases or when it comes to their welfare cases? And I'm not here to bag on social workers. Social workers are very important. Social workers are necessary. But is an INTJ really the best person for the job? An ISFJ would be a much better person for the job, or an ESFJ. Just FJs in general would be a better person for the job. Even NFPs would be a better person for the job. But why an INTJ? Do I really think that they'd succeed? No. I think they'd burn out quick. I think they'd probably be alienated and not liked by their bosses. They'd be passed up for promotion. I think it'd be a huge disaster for the INTJ. So yeah, not my recommendation. Definitely not recommended. I mean, you'd have to literally be a fake person. No one would accept you for who you really are in a social working work environment. Your clients too, like, they'd be like, I'm not entirely sure you have what it takes to be a social worker right now. Now, ESFPs could definitely pull it off. I think so. They could pull it off. But INTJ? Not really seeing that. You know, direct, triple movement, triple pragmatic, FV trickster at the same time. Like, you're only able to create or help people navigate a system, but you're going to be hated by your coworkers, passed up for promotion consistently. You know, it's kind of ridiculous to me. You know, I don't think it's going to happen. I just don't see it's going to happen. So yeah, probably not the best answer that I could provide to this question, other than just like run for the hills. You don't want to be a social worker as an INTJ, unless of course like it's a stepping stone into something else. But why would you invest so much time, effort, money, and attention and desire in training to become a social worker as an INTJ? I just don't understand why. Anyway, hopefully that had some value, because I'm not entirely sure that is a, I don't know, it just kind of seemed like a silly question, so I guess I gave a silly answer. So hopefully it was valuable. I really hope so. I probably wasn't, but I'm literally like shooting from the hip here, and I'm just like, it's that moment you guys get to see C.S. Joseph just be like, I have giant question marks over my head because I'm not entirely sure how I could answer this question. Really, the only actual true answer I could give is don't be a social worker. Don't invest your time, money, and your career into that if you're an INTJ. Maybe if you're not really an INTJ, then maybe social work is for you, but you'd have to verify your type. But if you're already verified, honestly, go for a different career, like data science. That would be far more meaningful to an INTJ. Anyway, thanks for watching, folks. I'll see you guys tonight.